That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, it is, to me, undeniable that one of the greatest trilogies in the history of cinema is Paddington. Now, granted, I didn't think the third Paddington was on the same level as 1 and 2, but I still thought it was wonderful. I was charmed and delighted, and my heart smiled watching Paddington 3. I enjoyed it a lot. But as you get near the end, when Paddington dies, I'm kidding. Nobody believes Paddington dies.
Just when he thought he was out.
Just when you thought he was out.
Paddington back in.
This umbrella tips over and he drowns. But you know, when you get to the end of Paddington 3, it without giving anything away, it kind of gives you the sense that the trilogy may be over. I mean, that it might be done. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, probably they are done. This is probably it. But hold on. Apparently that ain't the case, as the studio behind Paddington has just come out. The CEO has just come out and said definitively, oh, there's going to be a fourth film. This comes to us from Pop Universe. It says this: the comments were somewhat hidden in an interview with the CEO of Studiocanal, but CEO Anna Marsh has confirmed that a fourth Paddington movie is on the way. There will be a fourth film, she said. We're thinking about the next movies, plural, by the way, movies, and we're working on a new TV series as well as a stage show musical with Sonia Friedman and Eliza Looney. So this is something Chris likes hearing. How do you get a bear? But that's okay. That's fine. Let's put that aside for a second. Look, I'm not, Ray, can you pull up for me what the box office results of Paddington 1 or 2 and 2 are? And of course, Paddington 3 hasn't opened in North America officially yet. I just got to go to see an advanced fan screening.
Oh, okay.
And
I was just about to ask, how did you see this?
yeah, and it's absolutely delightful.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know what? Here's what I said about it. The first half has all the charm of Paddington, right? It's got all the charm of it, but you could really feel something lacking, even though it had all the charm. It's the second half of the film where the heart then comes into it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a Paddington movie. And it's so great, and it's so charming, so delightful. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I love this, and I love it for the same reason that I would love to hear another Hangover movie coming out, even though 2 and 3 were questionable. The question becomes, where do you go with the story of Paddington? And my answer is, I don't care. There are some TV shows and some movies.
Do you want those right now?
Yeah. What were the results?
Well, Paddington was 326.
The first one. Then what was the second one?
Let me get that for you. Sorry.
All right. So 326 million for that movie.
Not bad.
There are just some movies where I don't care.
290 million for
290. So like with Supernatural, like there's an argument to be made that they didn't need to carry on that show past season 6. Fine. But you know why I love that they kept going? Because I just loved every week hanging out with the Winchester boys.
Yeah.
I just loved every week going and hanging out with, you know, Crowley and hanging out with, you know, all the character, Bobby, whoever it was. I just liked hanging out with them. You can make Paddington 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and I will go because I just want to go and spend time with Paddington and the Browns. And it's just, and you know what? In a world where we're like, make this movie dark and make that movie this, sometimes it's just great to have a wonderful movie about wonderful people being wonderful. And I walk out of Paddington movies just filled to the brim. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. All right, let's be real. There's nothing worse than wanting to stream your favorite show or watch a live game only to find out it's blocked in your country. But guess what? With NordVPN, that is never a problem. With just one click, you can switch your virtual location and access content from anywhere in the world. I have loved using NordVPN. Whether I'm traveling and using public Wi-Fi or just shopping online, NordVPN keeps my personal info safe and private. By switching my location, I can even save money on flights, hotels, and subscriptions. It's like a cheat code for getting the best deals. NordVPN is the fastest VPN in the world, so there's no buffering when I'm streaming. Plus, their threat protection feature blocks blocks malware, trackers, and phishing attempts, keeping my devices safe 24/7. And with just one account, I can protect up to 10 devices, so my whole setup is covered. So to get the best discount on your NordVPN plan, head to nordvpn.com/John Campea, and our link will even give you 4 extra months for free on the 2-year plan. Plus, there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Links in the description. Check it out now. Anyway, so Chris, I love the idea of them doing a Paddington 4. I do hope this gets made. You haven't seen 3 yet.
No.
Obviously. Where are you at when it comes to Paddington movies? Do you think they should continue with them? Do you think they will? How do you see it?
They absolutely should. This is just like, it's like chicken soup for the soul. Oh my gosh. It's so comforting. It's like being wrapped in your favorite blanket when you were sick and you got to watch Price is Right every time you get to watch these Paddington movies. It's just like, oh, I'm a little kid again and everything is joyful. Also, I absolutely credit Paddington with really giving Hugh Grant a boost and letting us all see him in such a different light. These films are so well made. They are so much better than they have any right to be.
100%.
They're so charming. And as long as they do keep that heart like you're talking about, I think you can keep doing them. I'm over the moon about a musical because I'm a weird little theater kid. Real Bear,
How does
let's
one
go.
do a musical of... Well, how would one do a musical of Lion King? They figured that out.
You know, there's a
I
Shrek
figured-
musical.
Yeah,
there's
that's
an
true.
Elf musical. There's all kinds of stuff. So I would love all of these. And I hope over this time that Ben Whishaw eventually learns to love marmalade, because in real life, he hates it. And I feel like that's the only ding against him for playing this iconic role.
By the way, speaking of Ben Winshaw, Ann and I, when we got back from going to that Laker game, seeing the first Luka play, Ann's mom was here watching the dogs for us. They love grandma. So we come in and she's watching this movie on Netflix, and I don't know the name of it, but it's Ben Whishaw. It's Keira Knightley. There's some kind of MI5
Black
agent.
Doves? Isn't that a new series?
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it was. Yes, I had never heard of it. And it's so funny because like Winshaw is this like agent killer and he's like murdering people and shooting people. I'm like, and I turned to Anne, I said, do you realize that's Paddington? She's like, what? And he's like, then I'll fucking kill him. And like, Anne, no, Paddington. It's like, that's all she could hear was Paddington's voice after that. Anyway, Rob, what do you think about the idea of coming back and doing more Paddington? Do they need it or should they just let it be at this point?
Well, like my esteemed colleague Chris over there, I think the Paddington movies are delightful. I really like the first 2 films. And, you know, we used to talk about how it would be one of the great trilogies of all time if they made a 3rd one?
Well, we said if the 3rd one could be on the same level as 1 and 2, it would be in that top 5 greatest. Honestly, I'm not even joking around, guys. Like one of the greatest top 5 trilogies of all time. It wasn't on the same level as 1 and 2, but it was still really
Yeah,
great.
I mean, sure, it was definitely worthy of
Yes.
the Paddington name. I mean, like chicken soup for the soul. That's what these movies are. Not everything has to be, you know, we need all kinds of movies. One of my favorite movies of all time is Amelie. Talk about chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in my top 10 of all time. And a lot of people look at me and go, really?
Oh, it's
And I said, if
fantastic.
there's a movie that encompasses my worldview more than any other movie, it's Amelie. And I'd have to explain that. But Paddington has that kind of, it's both for the young and old. It's for everybody. I mean, it's a movie that probably hits you differently depending on when you see it. And I would imagine, I haven't put this to the test, that, you know, when I'm like, if I live to be 80, which I doubt will happen, but if I did, I'd
will,
probably be
Rob.
sitting there watching Paddington and finding it just as delightful, but in a different way.
Do you remember the spots that the Queen did with Paddington?
No.
You never saw those?
No.
They're from a couple years ago. Literally, Paddington. They got the actual Queen, Elizabeth, having tea and marmalade sandwiches with Paddington.
Oh, I'm going to Google that
It was
later.
almost as good as when she did that spot with Daniel Craig, when Daniel
Yeah.
Craig playing Bond. But it was great. So now what they need to do is cross universes, because what they got to do is have, when He-Man comes to Earth in the upcoming He-Man movie, then Paddington befriends and they do a spin-off, a buddy cop movie of Paddington and Fisto on the
No.
road.
Oh, you had to go there.
Everybody will love it. It'll be great.
Wow.
It still hits 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, Paddington in Peru.
It has a 94. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. I'm not surprised. The movie's absolutely delightful. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The studio's saying, yup, we're going to do a Paddington 4 and even mention movies Plural. They might have longer plans for this. Hey, if they keep making them this charming, keep making it. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.